Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of T.N.T. Garage and Performance. And in today's video, well, we're not really working on anything. Reason being is, one, it's been hot out. Two, I'm getting ready for Iola, which is next weekend. And I'm just trying to get the checker ready to go, which worked great until my Amazon fuel cell decided to start leaking from a weld. So we need to fix that, and that's just not going to happen in the time it takes for me to record a video and put it up, because I have one due to put up in about an hour and a half. So, what are we talking about today? The 5.7 Eagle Hemi. Is it the engine to surpass the LS as far as swap and build and everything to go along with that? Nope, no way. There's no engine on the world better than LS. The only reason you say that is you don't know how to work on an LS. Okay. God, I've heard that before. You don't understand LSs because you don't know how to work on them. I must have missed the part where, the fact that I've built other engines, many other engines that have a crankshaft, connecting rods, pistons, rings, cylinder heads, camshaft, lifters, push rods, intake, some sort of fuel system. I am in no way qualified to work on your precious LS. All right. Well, anyway, we are going to talk about the viability of the 5.7 Eagle Hemi and mainly why it is a wonderful thing that Tim Kuniskis, the man who gave us cars like this, as now the CEO of Ram, is my favorite person, because in 2026 the 5.7 Hemi is making its way back into the half-ton trucks. So stick around and let's talk about why that's a great thing, despite what everyone else that thinks the Hurricane is better thinks. So let's get to it. So, what's so great about the 5.7 Hemi when the 6.1, the 6.2, and the 6.4 all exist? Well, they make a very good amount of power for their displacement, and their ability to make power is pretty damn impressive. Let's start out with some basic facts. Number one, a Hemi head, a hemispherical combustion chamber, is better for flow because it is a direct cross flow. The air comes into the intake valve, does not make a turn at all other than to go straight out the exhaust valve. So it just goes straight across the head, versus a wedge style combustion chamber that small block Chevy, small block Mopar, big block, everything, pretty much anything that doesn't have a Hemi head has, to where it's got to come in, go to the side, and go out the exhaust port. Now, wedge heads have come a long way and make great power. The Hemi makes even better power, really, but there is an inherent disadvantage to a hemispherical combustion design. Can't talk today. And that is, with the way the valves are canted and the shape of the combustion chamber, it's not really conducive to running a lot of lift with a big dome piston. You have to be really careful about valve timing and the timing of your crank to keep you from crashing parts into each other. So that's one really big disadvantage to a Hemi, is just the fact that everything's so close, just from the canted design of the valves and everything like that. Now, why is it great that Tim Kuniskis decided to put this dinosaur back into the Ram? Well, because it means there's going to be more of them. You know how the 5.3 and the 4.8 have proliferated all drag racing, all motorsport, all performance, and why, there's a lot of guys that are kind of anti-LS is because it's been around since 1999. Now, if you think about that, we're what, 36 years? 27, math. It's been around a while, is what I'm saying. Anyway, it's been around a long damn time, over a couple of decades. So that means there's millions of them out there. You can't, I guarantee you go walk through your backyard right now and walk in a little taller grass, you're going to trip over a 5.3. It's just the way it is. They're everywhere. That can be these, with them getting re-released into production, which, yes, I know they come in the Durangos, and yes, I know the 6.4 comes in the heavy-duty Rams. Not a lot of people buy Durangos with Hemis in them, really. They get the 3.6. The trucks were the main vehicle that would pump the 5.7s out into the world, other than, say, cars like this. So that just means the more people that buy them, the more that are going to get out on the road, the more that'll wind up in insurance, wrecking yards, junkyards in the future, the more of them they are, the lower the price goes. And that is great for an engine that is a performance bargain like this one. Now, another thing I hear people say, especially as soon as the news broke that the Hemi was coming back with, I think, a $1,200 upcharge from the 3.6 to the Hemi. A lot of guys go, well, why would I pay $1,200 to get old technology, less horsepower, worse fuel economy than the Hurricane? Well, number one, simplicity. Do you see any turbos on this? No. Do you see any radical aftercoolers or direct injection or any of that crap that even GM does on this? No. I don't care how much power your Hurricane makes. I don't care if you have the SST that makes 540 horse or whatever. The problem is in the industry today that to make the horsepower numbers that these engines made and to meet emissions, they have decided to cram as much pressure into the combustion chamber as they possibly can. Now, that means more stress. That means more complexity. That means more controls, more sensors, more stuff to go wrong, and more time for your $80,000 truck to sit in a dealership. That's why you get a Hemi. And it sounds better. And you get the badge, which some people like. But the only knock against the eagle-headed Hemi or any Hemi with MDS is just that. There was a long run of these engines that had some subpar material for the camshafts and had lifter issues where the axle bearings in the lifter roller would go bad, fall out, destroy the cam, and stuff like that. I don't believe it's as common as GM's AFM, their active fuel management, because it's the same principle. They go about it a little differently between Mopar and GM. So I wouldn't ever worry about an MDS system because of the reason I know how to maintenance my vehicle. If you change your damn oil and use what it says to use, you're going to be fine. Don't let it idle. Don't let the stuff gum up. That's all you got to do. And a lot of the problem comes from old guys that are like, well, I had a 305 in my 81 Caprice and I left it run for 8 months. Nothing happened. Well, stop doing that, because one, it wastes fuel, and two, you're just wearing your engine needlessly. Engines are not efficient at idle. Quit doing it. So that's why you should get a Hemi over the Hurricane or whatever special whiz bang they're going to put out next. Because it's simple. This doesn't even have and will not have in the Ram direct injection. Now I can already hear the GM guys just getting ready, taking a deep breath to tell me how much better GM is than Mopar because we have direct injection. We have technology. We got the 1,000 freaking horsepower ZR. I don't care. You know why I don't care? Because direct injection causes issues too. It causes carbon buildup issues because there's not even fuel to wash the friggin' valve. Now, a lot of companies take care of that. I'm not ignorant. They do run port injection as well as direct injection. But again, complexity. the higher fuel pressures, the fuel injectors, all that. All stuff the Hemi doesn't have. That's why this is a great engine. You know, I've been looking at the specs, and I'm going to tell you something. These heads, out of the box, off this engine, if I were to take them off right now and put them on a flow bench with 4060 bore, so it flows a little more because it's a bigger bore. These flow 300 CFM at 400 lift. LS3 heads can't even touch that. They flow 180 on the exhaust. They flow up to 330 out of the box. Now I know there's going to be a guy that says I have LS3 heads that flow 5 million CFM stock, because there's going to be one. And yes, LS3 heads are amazing, but you're going to pay for them too. It's not like you're going to take a set of 5.3 heads and burn the world down. So these came on all the Hemis. They're not a special head. It's not like you get a 5.3 in a truck or anything like that, and you've got to put the better heads on it to make them flow. These all have these heads. All the 5.7s from 09 up have these monster heads. That's big block numbers. And don't even get me started on the Apache heads, because they're even better, the 6.4, 6.2 heads. So you get a tremendous cylinder head with the package. You get block architecture that's stated in the intro. If you know how to work on an LS, you'll know how to work on this too. So that means front mounted oil pump that's crank driven, skirted block, cross bolted mains. These aren't 4-bolt mains like an LS, but they're cross bolted, which eliminates any cap lock anyway. So they are very similar. Pocketed lifters, the same dumbass design that you got to take the heads off to do a cam swap, unless you dowel the lifters or magnets down the holes. But anyway, they're all doing this. Pocketed lifters, all that stuff. At a glance, you'd be hard pressed to tell a 5.7 block from an LS block, save for the Widow's Peak that these have on them. Now, carrying on, with more of them being in production, more of them are going to wind up in hot rodders' hands. And that could very easily drive the price down low enough that these are going to give LS swaps big trouble. Because out of 5.7 liters, the truck is rated at 395 and around 400-ish torque. This car, being a stick, is rated at 375 and 410 foot-pounds. Now, the difference being is this intake. The car intake is not as good as the truck's. The cam is a little different. So we're getting the best eagle-headed Hemi coming out further into the production. And that's great, because the intake on the truck is a dual runner setup. Just like the 392s, where it's got a long runner and short runner controlled by a valve. Long runner for low RPM torque production, short runner for high RPM out the door. So that is crucial. If you just wanted to pluck one and swap it in, computer and everything, you got something that in a truck motor, you can put a hairy camshaft in and valve springs to match it and make 500 crank horse. Just with a cam and springs at the flywheel. That's it. With that intake, you actually can't do much better than the truck intake when it comes to all-around flow and power production on the whole curve. So it is a great package. 500 horse with a cam out of 5.7 liters is pretty impressive. With stock heads, everything there. So I'm going to take a quick break because it's hot, I'm sweating, I need a drink, and then we'll come back and kind of delve more into the swap aspect of these into other builds. All right, and we're back. So, what makes this a great swap candidate? Well, just like the LS, pluck everything out, drop it in. The power production of a stock engine, and I believe these will be cheaper in the long run than, say, a 6 liter or 6.2. It might not get to like $300 5.3 levels, but it'll get far enough down that it makes it a very viable swap. And it's got everything you already need to make power, minus a camshaft or headers or boost or whatever you want to do. And, you know, to build a 5.3 to flow, one, the bore's a little small, so LS3 heads aren't perfect for it. It shrouds the valves a little much. And I made a mistake of looking at LS3 head flow numbers on a Corvette forum because my Corvette is best Corvette. So who knows how true those are, but I do know they flow over 300 CFM on the intake side. So, I mean, head for head, they're great, except to get LS3 head performance, you either need an LS3, 6.2, or to buy the heads. They're not super cheap. So if you can get the whole engine for a little more than the cost of a set of LS3 heads, you might go the Hemi route instead of going with an LS. Now, the big problem with the Hemi and also the Coyote or any mod motor, which, why? Anyway, these engines are tremendously wide. It is all but strut tower to strut tower in here, just like the Coyotes and the Mustangs, because these heads are massive. That is a huge downfall with hemispherical combustion chamber heads, is you need so much mass to fit the entire valve train in that you wind up with an absolutely gargantuan cylinder head. I mean, this is wider than a big block Chevy. So take that into consideration, because it's not going to fit in everything. I mean, you can make it fit if you really want to, but that's what keeps these and the Coyotes from really taking over the LS's, you know, throne as the ultimate swap. Now, they're different. It's cool to see these swapped, which back in the day, the LS was cool as well, and now, you know, you get naysayers, kind of like me. I don't hate the LS, I just think there's other options, and boost doesn't answer all your, you know, problems. I mean, it's a lot of them, but not all of them. And, you know, just the fact that it'd be nice to kind of see these really get further into more performance-oriented build stuff like that, and really get the aftermarket cranking even more. Now, I don't know how much further the aftermarket can really go on a head with this bore size and that already flows this much. I mean, you could probably port them, because honestly, the runners aren't huge on these. They just flow that good. So if you were to port a set of these heads and everything like that, you could come out pretty good. And the 6.4s, you know, and the 5.7s, you could stroke them both. Now, I've also made a mistake of going on Mopar forums, and I'm fairly certain that everyone forgot how to build a naturally aspirated engine, because LS guys are turbos, we all know that, nothing wrong with that. Hemi guys are supercharger guys. And that's alright, but I like the sound of a big nasty can, and I want to make a lot of horsepower naturally aspirated. So when I looked at 426 stroker builds, I saw a lot of people going, yeah, I built one, I made 500 horse. Like, did you put a cam in it? Because 5.7 liters, 400 horse. 7 liters should make a lot more than 100 horse more than this. So I'm starting to think that people just forgot how to go, I need valve train to make power. Because you need valve train to make power. So eventually one day I do want to build a 426 stroker, but we're going to need more engines out there for me to get one cheap enough, you know? So you guys that are in the market for a new truck, go buy a Ram with a Hemi in it. I need some cheap engines. And if I didn't have this car, and if I was in the market for a new truck, I'd get a Ram anyway. They're just, the interiors are the best out there, and I genuinely love the Hemi engine. I have no qualms with other engines. The LS, unless it's a new 6.2 that's scattering rods all over the place, you know, I don't have a problem with them. The Coyote is a tremendous engine. Just what I heard, the power numbers a Coyote could put out on stock cams is insane. So let's just take a minute to give Tim Kuniskis a little round of applause, because the Hemi's back and it's going to come out in a lot of numbers. And don't, before I end this video, don't be that guy. It's like, it's got e-torque on it. I don't want that. It's the hybrid. Blah. It's an alternator that's also an electric motor on a belt. It's not a sandwich system that's between the block and the transmission. It literally just poops out a little power so you can get going or auto stop start a lot quicker than most auto stop starts. So quit your bitching. They're doing that for emissions so you can have the Hemi. So shut up. Alright? Sometimes you gotta take one on the chin to get what you want. So I think I've covered all the bases with why the Eagle Head Hemi is great. And why we should all rejoice that it is being reintroduced into a volume selling vehicle, something that's going to sell a lot of them. So let's take another break. I'm going to mop my sweat, I'm going to have a drink, and we will wrap this up and talk about, well, other things going on here real shortly. All right, so thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Now that we talked about the mighty 5.7 Eagle Hemi, or the 345 as it's called out on my car, that wraps that up. So if you're looking at doing a build in the future or something like that, and you want something different that's going to be more affordable because there's going to be a pile of them out there, like I said, give Tim Kuniskis a little round of applause, because he did what we didn't think was possible. So what is coming up after this? Obviously, this is kind of just a video for video's sake. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you liked it. Or hopefully you want to argue with me, because I'm up for all of it. All of the each is fine with me. But the reason why I haven't been getting in-depth with builds and stuff right now is, one, I've been busy as all get out at work. It's been hot outside. And we're just kind of nitpicking on the car. I got to fix a fuel cell. I got to brace my trailer hitch because I'm going to be pulling my 1970 Jayco pop-up up to the Iola Car Show next weekend with the checker. So I went through the cooling system. I replaced the thermostat because that was acting up when it was like 95 degrees out. I straightened out one of the radiator hoses that had a pretty high peak in it, and it was getting air bubbles in and not really cooling as well either. So I'm just kind of going around the car, and we're going to have a lot of content from Iola, hopefully. So the car's going to be in it for 3 days. I'll be camping up there, probably miserable because it's going to be this outside. But it'll be up there. If you're going to come up, come by and see us. You know, check the car out, chew the fat, whatever you want to do. But past Iola, that's when the next project starts. And that's when my son Square Body comes in. And all you guys that went and watched my small block versus LS videos that told me I'm an idiot because I don't know how to work on LSs, you might be pleasantly surprised because, well, I got a new body style Chevy that just happens to have 5.3 in it that we're going to do something pretty cool with, involving that Square Body, and it's going to be a lot of different stuff. So that'll keep you LS guys, just calm down, just take it easy. It's just an engine. It's okay. It's okay. I'd hug you if I could. But that being said, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I'm really not picking on you LS guys. It's all in fun. So go ahead, do all that, click the bell icon so you know when new videos are coming out, and go ahead and follow me on social media. The links will be down in the description below. I'm going to put a playlist right there. This will go in the tech playlist, so all the other stuff that I rant on about, if you want to see it, be in that playlist there. Go ahead, check out all the builds. The checker build, the original Square Body build, the Camaro that's never going to get done, and a bunch of other stuff we got going on here. I'd really appreciate it. Let's pump those numbers up even more and keep rolling on. So, that being said, remember, till next time, if it ain't broke, fix it till it is. We'll see you soon.